little spring cleaning is in store in this month's Alpha Money. Many of us take the time to do it around our homes, so let's do the same with our finances. Money expert with Principal Preservation Services, Mike Koyanen, is here with 4 tips to polish our bottom line. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure, Liz. Thank you.
The first step, I think, could be the hardest for some people, Mike.
Yeah, I think with anything, just getting started and get motivated is the hardest part of the process, especially spring cleaning. So when we're looking at our finances, it's not everybody's strong point. So let's start with the basics and get looking at your budget, and let's look at your net take-home pay after your deductions and after your taxes are withheld, and let's figure out what you're spending your money on. So do that budget. Sometimes you have to look at your credit card companies and your bills to see what you really spent your money on. And I find most people are not in reality when it comes to what they're spending their money on. They tell me one thing, and then reality is they're spending their money somewhere else. So when it's all said and done, you'll find out how much money you have left over, and you'll see where you spend your money. Is that a necessity that you have to, or is that a want? It's not necessary anymore. So you might have to be cutting those things out and save yourself some money to put that money somewhere else.
It is amazing when you divide the need versus want, the difference something like that can make. And this second step, Mike, could be a tough one too. Certainly can make a difference, and that's the relationship so many people have with their credit cards.
Yeah, credit cards are the worst debt, in my opinion. The average credit card holder has a credit card debt of about $8,257. I believe that's higher because that's the user. There's a lot of people who pay off their credit cards every month, and there's people who don't. So I think the people who hold debt is a lot higher than this. But if you borrow $8,257 and you make the minimum payments of $175 a month, it's going to take you 9 years and 3 months to pay that debt off. And you will have spent over $11,000 in interest, which is much more than what you borrowed. And so you have to look at that. Is it worth it? And you probably don't even remember what you spent your money on, to be honest. And it definitely wasn't worth it to be in debt that long for a small debt. You have to change your way of thinking. And this is why it's so motivating to get your credit cards paid off. I had a problem with it years and years ago. I don't have any problems with that today. I like to use credit cards as a convenience. You have to get that mindset where the credit cards are going to pay me to use their cards instead of the opposite, where you're paying money. It should be a convenience factor. Get that debt paid off so it's not a hindrance to everything else in your life, because debt is that worst thing. I mean, it affects you buying a house, it affects you getting married, having children, and so on, and your credit scores. So it can be a negative effect. Get rid of that debt and be serious about it.
The third step, we may think that we got through tax day by now, but this is an important part of spring cleaning to take a look back.
Yeah, if you get a big refund, you might have to lower your deductions, lower withholdings, because I don't like to have the IRS, hold my money, without interest. But a lot of people are having to pay in. And so you have to relook at, why are you paying in? Are you not taking advantage of contributing to an HSA, health savings account, IRAs, 401ks? Other than that, you don't have enough taxes withheld. So on those IRAs and 401ks, you can contribute up to $8,000 if you're 15 older, because you get that catch-up contribution. On 401ks, up to $30,500 if you're 15 older. The HSAs are important if you have a high deductible health plan. So with that, there's a lot of people who are on Social Security and on that fixed income, and there's a form W4V. That's a Social Security form that you can have federal taxes withheld out of your Social Security, 7, 10, 12, or 22. You have to fill out that form. They don't withhold state taxes, but that's something to consider for those who are on that fixed income, because on the state level, they won't take taxes out.
It seems there's a lot of financial chatter when it comes to the presidential election, a little more than 6 months away, but this is a good time, you say, to do a checkup on any investments you have, whether you're in the market or just saving money at the bank.
Yeah, fortunately, we're still in a season. Great rates at the bank. I mean, the Feds have held off on reducing rates, which isn't the best thing, but it's also allowing these banks to pay you a decent rate return. Not every bank is offering these good rates, so you have to be willing to leave or look for these other offers. But I'm finding I have multiple accounts, and clients have multiple accounts, getting right around a 5% return on a high yield savings. And so if you have a $50,000 account and a high yield savings at 5%, you should be getting about $200 a month of interest. So look for those, and that's important. And if you have these CDs that might be coming due in the next couple months, renew them quick before the rates start dropping. And when rates drop, CD rates will drop as well. But now when we're looking at your investments, and that's going to be what's more important as we have upcoming elections, we're encouraged by the markets up till elections, and we think things are going to be good, but you want to reallocate your investments. Look at what you're invested in. Is it worth being in there by your risk tolerance and your goals? What I have been finding is a lot of people have been heavily in bonds, and they've been holding bonds for the last 2.5, 3 years, and they're down 9 to 22% still. And how long is it going to take to recover from that? Even if the Feds are dropping rates, it could be a 5 to 7 year recovery period just to get your bond values back. So you have to have a serious talk with your advisor if you've been holding a lot of bonds, but also some of those risk investments too, which is going to be better for you. International, U.S. equities, you want to make sure you're investing where you should be investing, especially this next 6-7 months is important and vital.
Our money expert with Principal Preservation Services, Mike Koyanen. Thank you so much. We'll do a little spring cleaning when it comes to our finances. Excellent 4 tips for all of us to get started. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Liz. I appreciate it.